Hello there, this is an update of NodeHive app, the Headless CMS for ambitious organizations. And in the recent months and weeks, we worked on several new features. But first of all, I want to announce that we now have a newsletter, so you can sign up to get product news and updates like this video, so you don't miss it. Yes, just subscribe and get the latest news. So what's new in NodeHive? Well, there is some improvements in the dashboard again. So I want to demo it rather quickly. So for example, this is my personal blog page. Actually, I will use that example for other demos now. But what you see here, I'm now logged in as a NodeHive editor. So basically this is not the admin or the content architect view, but this is actually the view a normal regular user will see. So when you log in, you arrive at the dashboard, you see your available spaces. For this instance, I only have one. Then you can immediately create content, and then you also have some statistics like how many page views and hits and visits. This data is taken from Matomo. But now we also added a new view called My Recent Edits, and this is basically my own content. And what it gives you, it immediately gives you the workflow state and also the connected space. So it's very easy from here to start on your latest contents and work up from there. So that's new. Additionally, we also added a recent edits for all users. It doesn't really make sense for this website because here we only use one user, which is me. But if you have a team of content editors, you will obviously see much more changes. And so therefore you need the recent edits, and then you will also see the authors and who is working on what. And what is the goal here now with this dashboard? Well, first of all, you have kind of a content view. So you have what spaces you have, then you can create content, then also what is the impact of that content. You have a little bit of a traffic statistics. Obviously, you can go into a Matomo dashboard to dive into deeper into the stats. And then obviously you see your latest edits. And then you also have these widgets where you see the conversions. So we are using web forms here to actually measure the conversions. And then you also see by month how many people actually signed up for the newsletter, for example, and also who it was. So you get some kind of a small log file of all your submissions, and this is actually the web form submissions. And so that's the dashboard, and so we improved it slightly with some new widgets, which is cool. And it's just so easy to use, especially in conjunction with the calendar view. I quickly want to demo that. So when you arrive at the dashboard, you not only have this, let's say, widget view with several data from the instance, but then you also get the calendar view. For example, here I can browse my content scheduling. I can also drag and drop the content scheduling of the blog posts, for example, I want to publish. And I also get a Kanban view where I see which posts are in draft, which are in published. This is all connected with Drupal's workflow functionality. So when I would have created additional workflow states, this is also taking it over from that configuration. So that's about the dashboard. Let's see what else we have here. Last web form submissions is also you. Then that's very exciting news. We have now a JavaScript client library. So that's very cool. You have now the ability to use a npm package in your front end, and actually the package is front-end framework agnostic. We are focusing on Next.js, and it's ready for Next.js 13 and 14 with the app directory, as well as for the page router. And if you, I don't want to dive into too much into the code, but if you look at it, for example, I go to package and then I open up basically source code. And then, for example, you get stuff like get nodes. So it's very simple interface. You can just say get nodes of content type blah blah with language whatever you want to select, and then you can also add a JSON API params object, which is then filtering on the backend. I will create much more information and also demos and tutorials on how to use this NodeHive.js package. We are already using it in production on several of our client sites. So it's pretty stable, but it certainly will break APIs in the future forward. So it's not a stable release yet, but it's already very powerful. And we are very excited to actually offer that, because this is a significant improvement on how you can connect your NodeHive backend with your frontend through this client API, client JS library. Which brings me then to the Smart Action button, which is a direct impact of this NodeHive.js library, because this action button is using heavily the NodeHive.js API client library. So what is the Smart Action button? So you see a little representation. The main issue of marketers when working with decoupled headless infrastructure websites basically is how you can easily change the site's content. And yeah, depending on the system and the setup you use, that's really not an easy task. And we address that by offering what we call a Smart Action button. I also want to demo that. So for that, I go to my personal blog post. And you see here at the very bottom, there is this Smart Action button widget. And it offers you several things. For example, I'm now on the website, on the front-end website, and now I can actually go to edit. So now I clicked on the edit button. Now I'm on the NodeHive instance on the same page, and now it's offering me additional editing capabilities. For example, I can change that articles view, click here on paragraphs, then it's opening up in the sidebar. I can, for example, select a different visual variant. For this, I want, for example, the blog teaser list featured articles. If I hit save, it's immediately refreshing that section or that paragraph with this new visual variant. So very powerful editing. So the connection from the front end to the back end is very simple. So I can go back by clicking here on the eye, and voila, I'm back at the front end. So this visual editing capability is very powerful to enable content editors and especially marketing people who are not very familiar with all the details and all the editing functionality. So this is very, very powerful, the Smart Visual Buttons. We also plan to improve that even better. So for example, now you can also access the dashboard directly from the front end. So again, you're back at your home where you actually start creating on content and working on spaces. So that's very powerful. And yeah, so that's it for the Smart Action button. What else we have? Well, we also have the Drupal 10.2 update now on all NodeHive instances. So when, for example, and that's something I'm very excited about, is quickly log in as admin. So now I'm logged in as admin, and then you have the good old Drupal super admin interface. I go to content types, and for example, I want to add a new field. I get this nice UI, which is much more simplified. That's just one little improvement of the Drupal 10.2 update. Yeah, that was it for the moment. There are much more smaller improvements, which is not so interesting to demo. But yeah, ask for a demo if you are interested in adopting NodeHive. And again, sign up for our newsletter. You will get more product news and updates if you're interested in our latest developments. Also, please check out the demo videos. Here are the sometimes I also create mini videos just about one feature. For example, the NodeHive Smart Buttons goes much more detail. So check the demo videos. Also check out resources. For example, I explain the use cases of NodeHive specifically. Also check out our docs. There will be new updates soon, where you can actually start creating your own NodeHive instance. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much and see you soon.